There's nothing unusual about a fast food chain having trade secrets, but a beefy ingredient in dessert? These tricks will change the way you look at some of your drive-thru favorites. According to the cookbook Shake Shack Recipes and Stories, the secret to the franchise's delicious sauce is pickle brine. While it might sound odd, pickle brine is something of a delicacy. Some folks even drink the stuff for the tangy flavor and its reported boost of probiotics and electrolytes. But it really does make sense to add pickle juice to a burger. The acidity of the brine balances out the creamy mayo that's in the sauce. The brine's sugar and salt also enhance the sweet and savory elements in the sauce's ketchup and mustard. If you want to recreate this sauce at home, you may be inclined to start at the canned section of your grocery store for your pickles. Those are generally quick pickles that haven't been fermented in a salty brine. Instead, they were jarred in vinegar to mimic the tanginess and texture of a fermented cucumber. While this is a great option, if you're really wanting all of the flavors of pickle brine in your copycat sauce, you should go for a true brine. The cold section is where many stores stock their selection of genuine fermented pickles, and that's where you'll find the brine you need for this sauce. If you recall the 88% beef scandal that shook Taco Bell's reputation over a decade ago, you know there's a little more than meat in what you order from the franchise. After a class action lawsuit accused Taco Bell of misleading customers by not disclosing that its beef isn't pure, the fast food chain was forced to reveal the other 12% of ingredients in the mix. While most of these ingredients were usual suspects like spices and water, a Taco Bell representative told the Los Angeles Times that it also includes tortilla yeast. This yeast is included to help emulsify the water and oils in the meat mixture and to add a savory taste. That savory dimension may have been added to make up for the loss of beefy flavor due to the oats, water, and other ingredients used to enhance the texture of the meat mixture. Tortilla yeast is likely what gives Taco Bell's seasoned beef its distinctive flavor, which you might struggle to achieve if you're trying to recreate the discontinued quesarito at home. Next time you try, sprinkle in a little tortilla yeast to more closely match the franchise's seasoned beef. In an interview with Franchise Times, Smashburger CEO Tom Ryan explained that the secret ingredient that makes a Smashburger so special is triple roasted chicken skin, which is ground into a powder and added to the franchise's unique seasoning blend.
Kosher salt, black pepper, garlic, and a little bit of magic to bring out that natural certified Angus beef flavor.
Dehydrated chicken skin may sound unappetizing to some diners, but its use makes a lot of sense. Chicken skin is full of fat, which means that when it's roasted, it crisps up and turns savory, much like a slice of bacon. Grinding that up and mixing it into a seasoning blend creates a smoky, meaty flavor that would be hard to get from a more standard seasoning. If you want to try recreating a Smashburger at home, start by roasting chicken skin until it's extra crispy and crunchy. Let it cool before grinding or chopping it and mix it into your ground beef with salt, pepper, and garlic. From there, you're ready to make yourself some smashed burgers. Calling cinnamon the secret ingredient in a Cinnabon cinnamon roll is a bit like saying cheese is the secret ingredient in a grilled cheese sandwich. But in this case, it's a particular kind of cinnamon, known as Macara cinnamon, that makes this item special. Macara cinnamon comes from Cinnamomum cassia, which isn't true cinnamon at all. Instead, it's derived from a species of evergreen tree, which ends up in much of the ground cinnamon found in grocery stores. Cassia is prized for offering a more intense, simpler flavor, but Cinnabon's trademarked Macara blend dials that intensity up by importing the cinnamon bark whole. It's only ground up right before it's sent to Cinnabon locations across the country, which helps preserve the essential oils inside the bark that deliver that pungent cinnamon punch. However, grinding your own cinnamon from whole sticks won't quite recreate this intensity, since those tend to be made from smaller twigs and shoots. According to a 2016 study published in Biomedical Chromatography, these smaller pieces typically have lower concentrations of the oils and compounds found in the bark. While those freshly ground sticks will taste more intense than the pre-ground stuff, it won't quite compare to the intensity of Cinnabon's trademark blend. If you scour the ingredient list of McDonald's Chicken McNuggets, you'll find the word spices hiding somewhere among the other inscrutable ingredients. While McDonald's won't disclose the full list of McNugget spices, it has revealed that one of them is celery salt. Celery salt is simply a blend of salt and ground celery seeds. You might know it from its inclusion in Old Bay seasoning or as part of the Bloody Mary you had at brunch. When added to a dish, it delivers saltiness with mild notes of pepper and herbs. While those other flavors remain subtle, they add a hint of something extra to make your meal stand out. That's exactly what's going on in Chicken McNuggets. The use of celery salt adds subtle layers of flavor that awaken different taste receptors on your tongue. Fast food connoisseurs have long known there's something special about McDonald's fries. While it's hard to go wrong with deep-fried potatoes, there's something about a warm batch of McDonald's fries that compels us to shovel them into our mouths by the handful. It turns out that something special is beef extract. The story starts in the 1950s when McDonald's switched from plain vegetable oil to a mixture of vegetable oil and beef fat. Supposedly, the blend eventually became 93% beef fat and a mere 7% vegetable oil. This led to a crisper exterior that contrasted better with the fluffy potato interior. It also added a hint of beefy flavor that took the fries to a new level. But when a crusade against saturated fat swept the nation over the next few decades, the fast food franchise eventually caved to public pressure and ditched beef fat in 1990. Now, McDonald's adds beef extract to its vegetable oil to make up for some of the missing flavor that gave their fries that signature taste. But some older customers still swear the original beef fat version was even better than what's served today. While the secret to McDonald's fries is beef extract, for Five Guys fries, it's all about the peanut oil. Peanut oil is high in saturated fats compared to standard vegetable oils. This makes it a prime choice for deep frying, allowing it to deliver similar results as McDonald's without the hint of beefy flavor.
It's delicious.
Good.
But Five Guys only uses peanut oil for its fries, meaning the flavor is never affected by other ingredients going into the same fryer. Cooks regularly filter and change the peanut oil to ensure it's as fresh as possible for every batch of fries. The result is a softer, fluffier, and all-around fresher-tasting French fry. Popeye's fried chicken is juicy with a perfectly crunchy breading that keeps fans coming back for more, even if it isn't the cheapest fast chicken in the game. But there's one ingredient that makes this bird extra special. Monosodium glutamate, also known as MSG, is a food additive that's used to enhance flavor. Like salt, MSG contains sodium, with the key difference being that MSG's sodium comes from glutamic acid, an amino acid lending dishes a savory umami edge. When it's added to an already savory food, it can boost that flavor, making beef taste beefier or, in Popeye's case, make chicken taste even more like chicken. Unfortunately, MSG got a bad rap thanks to claims that it causes headaches and other health effects. But according to a 2016 review published in the Journal of Headache and Pain, these claims aren't actually supported by research.
Pure fiction.
Even so, public pressure caused the fast food restaurant to announce sweeping changes to its ingredients. Popeyes currently aims to ditch MSG completely by 2025. Popeyes isn't the only restaurant using MSG. Chick-fil-A also adds the flavor enhancer to its food. From sandwiches to nuggets, it's used in every chicken item on the menu. The chain doesn't have any plans to remove it, so if the post-MSG Popeyes chicken won't do it for you, consider defecting to the Chick-fil-A camp. And if you're still concerned about MSG, you probably shouldn't be. After all, it is a naturally occurring substance found in plenty of foods like cheese and tomatoes. In fact, it may actually be a healthier alternative to table salt for those who need to cut their sodium intake. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, standard table salt contains 40% sodium and 60% chloride. Meanwhile, a study published in the journal Nutrients found that MSG contains just 12% sodium. A Wendy's Frosty is part ice cream, part multi-milkshake, a treat that's thicker and creamier than a standard milkshake, though just as drinkable and refreshing. It's been on the menu since the franchise's inception and continues to be one of the chain's most popular items. But the ingredient that sets the chocolate Frosty apart from any other chocolate milkshake isn't just the ice cream, it's a dash of vanilla. Since chocolate is so rich and distinct, it can be overpowering when served alongside a cheeseburger or fries. Mixing a bit of vanilla into a Frosty helps lighten up that chocolatey flavor just enough so that you can pair the shake with a Wendy's combo and still get your chocolate fix. When you order at Wendy's, your Frosty won't be the only menu item with sugar. According to Wendy's official website, its popular chili is a warm, hearty stew that includes beef, tomatoes, chili beans, and sugar. The sweetness here helps to balance out the acidity and tartness of the tomatoes, along with the other savory elements in the chili. But if you're trying to make a copycat version, go light on the sugar. It doesn't take much to achieve that flavor profile, and too much sugar can quickly make your chili too sweet. Sprinkle it into the pot a bit at a time until its taste reminds you of your favorite Wendy's dish. The Buffalo Wild Wings menu is loaded with fried food, and most dishes have one thing in common: beef tallow. Tallow is made of beef fat and resembles lard or vegetable shortening. According to Buffalo Wild Wings' allergen and preparation guide, the chain fries everything from mozzarella sticks to French fries in tallow. They even use it to prepare their fried ice cream. This adds a rich umami taste due to its high saturated fat content. Although this cooking choice might make the food tastier, it almost got Buffalo Wild Wings into legal trouble. In 2016, the chain faced a class action lawsuit from vegetarians claiming the company should have disclosed its use of beef tallow. In the end, a judge dismissed the complaint because the plaintiff didn't sufficiently prove how this lack of transparency had impacted them. Water may not seem like a special ingredient, but it does a lot more than simply thinning out a mixture. It also makes McDonald's ketchup taste sweeter and milder. Water helps cut through the acidity of the tomato paste, which functions as the base of most ketchup recipes. When tomatoes are processed and reduced to a concentrated paste, their natural sweetness gets overpowered by the fruit's acidity. If you've ever tried a spoonful of pure tomato paste, you've probably already found that out. And if you've ever made a tomato-based sauce from scratch, you know that one of the most widely used tricks for cutting acidity is to add water. Diluting the sauce just enough to mellow it out allows its other dimensions to shine without adding competing flavors. If you want the flavor of ketchup but you don't want it to steal the show from your burger, McDonald's ketchup is the one to get. Sandwiches and bread are synonymous, but have you thought about making a sandwich out of cake? According to Ireland's Supreme Court, that is pretty much what happens at Subway. In 2020, the court ruled that the chain's bread could not legally be classified as bread due to its higher-than-normal sugar content. Ireland's Value-Added Tax Act limits the acceptable ratio of sugar to flour in bread for tax purposes. Since Subway exceeds those set proportions, its bread is classified as something closer to cake. Unsurprisingly, Twitter had plenty of jokes to offer about this ruling. One user asserted that Subway sandwiches should be called cakes with ham in them. According to Healthline, multiple studies have suggested that sugar possesses addictive qualities, so it's not surprising if the additional sugar causes you to crave more Subway sandwiches.